I'm here with one of my 10 favorite banjo players. I can only think of 4 though. Doug Maddox, and I played with Doug for many years at Disneyland, and he's just awesome, as you're going to hear coming up. Where did you start playing? Where did you grow up?
North Carolina.
Oh, that's right, North Carolina. That's right, Andy Griffith.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know Andy,
No, I understand that.
and I didn't make as much money as he
No.
did. I tried.
Well, you did pretty good from what I've seen.
I see.
So when you first started playing, it was in North Carolina. Were you playing bluegrass?
Played Dixieland. My dad was a Dixieland lover, devotee. He every Sunday spent all Sunday listening to Dixieland records, which he had an extensive collection. And he got me a banjo, and I started playing along with it. And he used to love to take the needle off the record so he could hear just how bad I was sounding. And he would laugh, and I'd go, and he'd put it back on. He said, "You're doing great. Don't worry about it." And that's where it started.
And did you work in North Carolina, or did you come out here to work?
No, they had a pizza parlor that came to Jacksonville, which is Camp Lejeune, biggest Marine base in the world, supposedly. It may not be anymore. And started playing the pizza parlor, and that got me started. And all of a sudden, I found something that was fun to do, something I did fairly well, and there was money at the end of the line, and pizza at that time too.
That's the dream.
I've lived it.
So what brought you out to California?
Jerry Van Dyke.
Oh, okay, all right. So you were MD for Jerry Van Dyke, but you must have started as a sideman.
No, let's see. How did I start with Jerry? I think he had me come in. He had a band, but he had me come in because he was doing main rooms, and he wanted me for the main rooms. And he wanted me, as I got better at doing the main room, he also wanted me as the musical director. Here I was in front of 40-piece band in Las Vegas, and me going, and he says, just lead them. Take over.
God.
And I remember the first night he wants to do some tune that's about this tempo. I'm looking at the world through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
And we were at the Hilton, and he works in front of the curtain, and then he wants me to count off the tune, and the curtain opens. And as the curtain opened, I'm going, jeez. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Trumpet players, their lips are coming through their horns. And Jerry had to cut it off. Stop. And then he went on and continued to do his comedy act. And what was funny is that the drummer, after the show, came up to me and went, a little fast, wasn't it? I said, well, yeah, but I got a little excited because he says, what's the tempo? I said, well, the tempo is 1, 2, 1, 2. That's all I need. Count it any way you want to.
Yeah.
And so that was my intro.
Well, that's good that they were on your side, because it could have been a lot worse. They could have just left you out to dry anytime.
Well, I was really good in rehearsals because I was doing Jerry's act.
Now, did you open for Jerry before that?
No. I wasn't opening for Jerry. I was his side. He would bring me out, and I would do a big solo or something, and we would do solos together. One of my favorite things is he wanted to do a tune where he would sit with the banjo while I'm playing. I'm just a girl who can't say no.
Right.
And Jerry's doing this like he's playing. And you can see me in the background going, and he's just playing. All of a sudden he stops just long enough to tune up while I'm still playing.
Right.
And he said, he finally dropped the thing. He said, we're not doing that anymore. I said, well, why not? It's really funny. He says, do you hear anybody laughing?
Well, just you guys.
I said, well, not really. He said, that's because they think I'm playing. I said, even when he said, they think I'm playing.
Wow.
So that was the end of that.
Yeah. So how long were you with Jerry?
About 4 years.
4 years, okay.
And then I got the job at Disneyland, and 1978 or something like that. And after that, I didn't go back out on the road. Not until after we lost the job at Disney in '92.
And at Disney, you were in
band that
several
played
groups.
Several groups. Dick Hardwick got us in, and John Jorgensen was in the group.
Right.
Charlie Warren, and me, and we could play anything we could think of.
And you played on Main Street. You played in
played bluegrass in Thunder Mountain.
Frontierland?
Yeah, they wanted. Thunder Mountain Railroad was just opening, so they wanted a bluegrass band out there to play for the crowd.
All right.
And Sonny Anderson at the time knew that we also could play Dixieland, and so he put us half the day out playing Dixieland, and then we gravitated towards several other different bands after that. And we learned I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Back in those days, and this is the reason why everybody has so much trouble out of Disneyland is because of us. Because we didn't ask to do something, we just did
Right,
it.
right.
And then figured out our own schedule. And then people would come out and going, when did you guys start doing this? I said, well, we were asked to do it. Well, who asked you? I don't know.
Right.
And they said, well, we need to put this in the schedule. I said, okay. And they put it in the schedule. And so we wrote our own tickets.
Oh, it was a lot easier back then.
It was a whole lot easier.
How long were you there then? How long were you at the park?
That particular time, I was there from 78 or 79 to 92. So the beginning of 79, I think. No, the end of 78. End of 78. And stayed there till the end of 92.
Wow, okay, that's a good run. And then you did cruise ships after that?
The cruise ships. Well, I actually went to a group called Banjo Mania.
Oh, that's right.
And we did stage shows for community concerts and Columbia artists. And from there, I met someone who could get me on a cruise ship. He says, you don't do this touring all year long. Let me put you on a cruise ship. You'll love it. You'll have fun. Every time someone tells you that, you can bet you're not going to have fun. It's not going to be enjoyable. And you're going to wish the hell you could get out of it, but the money will always be so good you can't leave.
See,
So,
and you're not married. I don't understand.
well, I'm not married because there's a lot of girls that are very happy about that. Because Maxine,
No, yeah.
that needs to be edited out.
I'll dip that out.
Thank you.
That's not going to be a problem. So you did cruise ships for a long time.
Cruise ships, believe it or not, I was with Disney for 14 years, then cruise ships for 14 years.
Okay.
From 96 until the end of 2009. It was, and at the time, it was nonstop, and then when it came to an end, it was all stop.
Right.
So I was never here at my house more than a month at a time, a year, and it was never consecutively. So I would come home, and I used to count my days off from Holland America. How many days do I have to get dry cleaning done?
And so you did that, and then now you're doing, not besides playing banjo and guitar, you're doing video editing.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that for how long?
10 years, but
10
I was
years
doing
of
it longer than that. It goes all the way back to 1990 when we were forming Banjo Mania, and I started working with a crew up in Riverside, and they were teaching me how to do it. And that was back in the day when they actually had to cut the tape and stuff.
Right.
So when you wanted to see an edit work, you'd cut it, you'd look at it and go, son of a bitch, and you'd see the guy who has to actually do the cut and go. Because that meant we still have. So a minute of EDL took 8 hours to accomplish.
Wow.
So that's a minute. That's a minute of video, and that's it. And now I can do that same thing on the programs I have now. I can do a complete videotape in a week or less,
Right.
with all the nice stuff.
It's impressive that a banjo player could learn to do something as technical as that. You don't normally see that out in the wild.
That's why I try to let people know I'm not really a banjo player. This is just a hobby. That's
Well,
made me a lot of money.
It's a wonderful hobby. This is Doug Maddox, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest banjo player here in Fullerton. I'm sure he's first call in Fullerton.
If there could be such a thing.
Thank you. Here you go.